Well, YouTubers, if you want to know what happens when you shake the chicken salt a little bit too hard, I can show you right here. So I think my cholesterol's going to go up by just a little bit this week, but anyway, so I'll have to deal with that. Otherwise, I got this Briggs and Stratton engine here, one of the newer model ones, about 2002 I suppose this one was from. It's about 4.5 horsepower, and it was on my go-kart thing, or whatever you want to call it, a small ride-on mower. And it's pretty well, it's due for a rebuild, we'll put it that way. So anyway, I'm going to wait after I finish my dinner. I'll start stripping it down. So yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, so that'll be a bit of a rebuild, I suppose. I'll probably have to wait until I get some more parts. I'll have to get new gaskets, and new head gasket, that sort of thing. And then we'll be right. So anyway, I'll fix that fucking mess up first. Okay, so I might just turn that off. So I just buzzed the bolts out of the bottom with the drill because I'm lazy. Looks like I've got a tripod out of this mess, which managed to eat. So now all I'll do is just tap the block off. There we go. There's not much oil there, so we'll just lift it out. There's a few slicks in there. Quite a lot of gummy yuck crap. Oh, the gasket only fit in one place. Might be able to reuse that then. Yeah, oh well. I know it's split a bit out of the corner there. No, I'll just patch it up. Yeah, now there's a oil stinger. What's the cam like? Lobes are nice actually. Lifters will be flawless, as normal. Lifters aren't something that wears on Briggs engines. Not the lifter there. There's no particular way they come out. Timing gear. These timing gears are very prone to splitting in these engines. In fact, I'm very surprised this one isn't. Doesn't look like, although it might have a hairline crack. They normally crack straight through here where the keyway is somewhere. The key's nicely shoved in there, so we'll leave that in there. Now, crank. How much play does it have in it? We'll soon find out. I'll move a bit closer maybe, can you see that? So, no, whether you can hear that. You definitely can't hear it now. That just went in the pile of shit. Great. So goes clunk once it goes past centre point, so that means it's got a fair bit of play in it. So it looks like I'll have to make this fit again, which I'll show you how to do that the dodgy way. And yeah, it's not the very strictly technical way, but it's the way that I've done it for yonks, and it's the way that it's worked. I've never thrown a rod. After that sort of process, you have more chance of throwing rods with play in it than you do patch it up. I'll tell you in a minute. Once I get it out, I'll show you. Firstly, we'll have to inspect the rod, see what the journal's like. Crankshaft journal looks a bit scored, a little bit. That shouldn't be, because that oil seal has always been leaking, so there's always been oil going down past it. Always leaks. It's never been run dry of oil. There's these bolts, so I'll just get this last one out. There we go. Yeah. So it's probably going to be rebuildable. Look, if it doesn't look too bad. I think what rings did I put in this last time? I got some from the wreckers that managed to fit to it. I think I got them out of a Subaru Boxster, I think. Boxster. Only had the pistons just in the bore, all the crank had been taken out, so I just pulled the pistons out and took the rings off them because they were close to what I needed. Then you just file them down a little bit. So this one looks alright. Shell. As you can see, it's not very badly scored. Use the crank to push it halfway out. And we'll just pop the piston out the top, which it might not want to go because of the ring. Yeah, it's got a bit of a ledge there, so we might just pull the conrod out. Sorry, not the conrod, crankshaft. Take it out the bottom with the help of a hammer. It's jamming because now it's cockeyed in the bore. Oh well, this is very good for it. And that does not want to come out, my friends. I think it's got cracked rings actually. This thing's totally rooted. It was unusable in the condition it was, so we can't do much more damage. Is that gone? Now I've got relays falling down and one jammed piston. That's because of the ring ledge that was at there's a pretty severe one at the top. There's obviously a very severe one at the bottom that I've got jammed on. So I don't really care. It doesn't look like that's going to come out that way. No, it's coming. I'll stop the video and get this out. Alright, so that explains more than one thing. Broken oil control ring, which is why it ended up cockeyed. It's also got a fairly big ridge you can feel with your finger in there. So that is why it was smoking badly. You can see that ring's been cracked for a long time. Because it's actually worn on the toe of the ring, so the outside edge. You probably can't see it on the camera, you can barely see the ring. But basically what's happened is here we go. So that's the ring there. No, you can't even see it in that either. Alright. The ring, where it's snapped across the edge, you can see it's rounded off on the edge there. That edge there is rounded. So if that's where the snap bit is, because that edge is pulled out and been leading across the edge, you can see. Now if I look at the bore, I bet I'll be able to find a nice big crease from that, which if I cleaned it I'd probably have better luck. So yeah, but I reckon it's rebuildable. So what I'll do is I'll take this ring off and we'll measure the ring gap. Now this engine's really been abused in the past. Just slip the rings off and then razor sharp. I could just feel it. Almost got cut then. So anyway, there's your ring. So we'll wipe that up a bit and try not to cut ourselves. There'll be a feeler gauge there. Alright, now tip that shit off. I might put another piston in here, one that has a decent oil control ring on it, or decent setup. Now you can really see where that's been wearing against. If I'm going to put this back together I'll need to hone it. You can see down in there 2 tones, and you can really feel that gap where the rings got stuck against. So yeah, that wasn't very good. So anyway, and you can see a fairly big mark up this side here. I don't know whether you can see it in there, but that's where that broken ring was wearing up against. So I'll stick one of the rings in the bore. What you do is you clean both of them up, get the chicken salt off them. Then you sit them about midway or an inch down in the bore, because you have to sit them off the ring land. And oh my god, Christ. Look at that ring gap. It's huge, no wonder it's smoked. I'll try the other one, I doubt that's going to be any better. So that is the reason why it was smoking. So if I can find some better rings and put them in, it probably won't smoke as much. I didn't smoke that much to start with. Otherwise I'll just... Oh, this one's almost within specs. The other one's just totally rooted. So there you go. Now that gap you should be able to, if you're in doubt, use your feeler gauge set and check it. I'm trying to think of what the gap's meant to be. I think it's 0.35 from memory. Millimeters, is it? Or 2.7, something like that. Anyway, I can post that at the bottom of the videos, or I could look it up there.